I'm Lesley Wills. My grandfather was Richard Chappell, Officer Steward, Royal Marine Light Infantry, Monster 33. I think he probably had a very hard life, and he was up and down the hatches, dealing with the captain's requests all the time, with his food and his drink and everything to do with the mess, and also at action stations using the rear gun. I think they had to be very stoic, and they had to just get the job done. They were living in awful conditions. The quarters weren't very special, the food was terrible, the conditions were awful, and I think they had to be very stoic about the whole thing, really. It's very emotional to see her, how she would have been in 1915 when my granddad got on this ship at Harland and Wolff in Belfast. And it's just an amazing thing to see her come full circle, really. Having done my family history, and I've spent about 20 years doing it, a part of which Grampy Chappell was part of that, it was basically that we felt that it's where it should be. And all the artefacts should be back with the ship that he was on for 3.5 years, and that basically it's right. And and everything was home: the jackets, the diary, the medals, the letters, the locks of hair, the wedding rings, everything. It's part of this ship. It's part of a bigger story, and everybody should be able to see the story.
So when M33 was at Gallipoli, these guns are what it's all about. This is the forward 6-inch gun on board that could fire a 100-pound projectile something like 8 miles out at the Turkish fortifications, out at the troops who were gathering on shore. The crew would be manually operating the gun, opening the breech like this and loading those shells, getting ready to fire. Unique part of this ship's design is what we see here: a very small keel, and then as we walk down, she has a very flat bottom. As you walk on, it is literally flat, and this meant that she could get into 6 feet of water. She could get very close to shore and fire her guns at much closer range. It did, though, also mean that she would roll terribly in any kind of sea, and even when she fired her gun, the ship would roll, and that made her very uncomfortable to live on.